Our next honorary degree recipient is Marjorie M.J. Acosta. MJ serves as a host at the NFL Network and across all NFL media platforms. The Emmy Award-winning journalist became the first woman of color to host a show on the NFL Network when she was named the host of NFL Total Access in 2020. Fully bilingual in English and Spanish, you can find her working internationally across all NFL platforms. Raised in South Florida, MJ began her journey at Barry University as a self-described non-traditional junior, determined to graduate with a job in communications. Locals may remember MJ from her time on local sports radio and WPLG Local 10, where she served in numerous on-air roles. Within 15 years in the television and entertainment industry, MJ advocates for representation and equality. She works closely with women's empowerment groups such as A Seat at the Table and is dedicated to amplifying the voices of marginalized communities. MJ is a most deserving recipient of an honorary doctorate of humane letters from Barry University. Please again direct your attention to the center stage where she will receive her degree and be hooded by Board of Trustees Chairman Greg Green and Barry University President Dr. Mike Allen. Dr. Acosta will then address our graduates as our commencement speaker.
I did not have this on my 2024 bingo card, but I am so happy to be here. You know, I've thought about the word alumnus quite a bit over the last few weeks, and beyond, of course, the literal definition. To me, it just means to belong. And you see, that's important because many of us spend most of our adult lives looking for a place to belong, especially when we come from underrepresented communities. My journey, both through life and certainly through my career, has been unconventional at every turn. And my time here at Barry University really helped me gain the confidence and the knowledge to know that I was on the right path, even if I was doing it in my own way and on my own time. Tonight is such a beautiful representation of that as I see all of the graduates from a myriad of disciplines that really transcend generations. It reminds you that it's never too late for a second, third, or even fourth act. That is the power of education, a power that you all have harnessed and fought for that has led you to this very moment. I am the proud eldest daughter of immigrants. So obviously I was destined for greatness no matter what. Resilience was not just a learned behavior, it runs through my veins. I watched my mother, Maria Acosta, then in her 30s, with 3 young children, 2 of whom were in diapers, enroll in community college in the Bronx to fulfill the higher education that she started in the Dominican Republic. She figured out how to get financial aid. She worked on campus to help provide. Her resilience, her sheer determination to invest in herself so that she could invest in us, is something that I call on every single day. She's a hero. And my father, el Dr. Fernando Acosta, the real Dr. Acosta. He left behind his life and his medical career in the Dominican Republic to start over completely. His medical degree and decades of experience simply weren't recognized here in the United States. So, he worked in manual labor, in factories, with the very same hands that he once delivered babies with. And he didn't flinch. He learned the language. He made his way back to medicine in a different capacity. A beautiful and hard-fought career at Jackson Memorial Hospital, the same hospital where I was born, where he received a standing ovation on his last day before retirement just last year. He is also a hero. You see, I can't tell my story without also telling theirs. My parents had to sacrifice, evolve, reinvent, even reverse engineer the life that they envisioned for themselves and for us. So you can imagine why, at the age of 21, I chose to say, withhold the fact that I was dropping out of college. Yeah, I can say it now with confidence at nearly 40 years old, knowing that a chancla isn't gonna fly across the room. At least I hope not. I think Mom is in strappy shoes, we're good? Okay, great. But I have never regretted it, not for a second. Even as I watched my peers graduate, sometimes 2 times over, I knew that I was searching for my path, creating it, actually. And that part of my parents' sacrifice was for me to have that option. I can never repay them for that freedom and for that autonomy, and I don't take it for granted for a single day. The reality was that I didn't know how to follow a traditional path. I didn't have the blueprint. Neither did my parents. What I did have was a relentless need to follow my passion. And at the time, it was the performing arts. I'm a dancer at heart. But that led me to a job in television, which led me here to Barry University. Now, by then I was a lot older than my fellow cohorts, but the beauty of starting a little bit behind is that you walk into that admissions office, you know exactly how many credits you need, there is no messing around, we gotta go. Let's graduate, let's get this done. Recently, I've been in rooms that have felt too big for me, this one included. And I found myself wondering, how am I here? And to be clear, I'm not talking about corporate spaces. These are intimate, curated rooms filled with people who look like me, who have chosen to lift as they climb. How am I here? Because I've earned it. Because I was meant to be here. So to the graduates, please know that there is a space where you belong and where you will thrive. Spaces built and nourished by those who will see you before you see yourselves. But don't wait until they see you. Look in the mirror every day and acknowledge your hard work and your talent. Because as we know, outside of those rooms, the world is harsh. Before you take your final steps today as a student of Barry University, remember that you hold the power to define your life. Your jobs and your titles, those are just that. Because you are so much more than what you do. Stand in your full light and build something for yourself. Find a calling that will fuel you and ground you during the toughest times. Lean on your village, and above all, hold your head high. The challenge I place before you is to carry that divine energy into every space you enter. It may or may not carry over to other people, but it will 100% affect the way you stand on business. Congratulations, class of 2024. You crushed it. Thank you.